We can run with Finney and Nichols all day.
And Flo?
My parents may listen to that.
All right, I'm not going to go there.
They don't. Don't worry.
But so using copper makes all the difference when you're distilling. Copper helps to remove sulfides. Sulfides has that strong metallic flavor component with a lot of the spirits, especially in Mexico with tequila. And by using copper here in the U.S. for our agave spirit, it eliminates a lot of that kind of sharp bitterness and metallic flavor that you used to with a lot of tequilas. It's a fun sipping tequila. It's a good shooting tequila. But hopefully you're not forced to have lime and salt to finish it off. So yeah, it's fun and it's still potent. So you guys are gonna be feeling great here in about 4 minutes.
Sign me the fuck.
I love tequila.
And yeah, that's up Chris's alley. That's your jam.
Yeah, that's what Stacy and mezcal.
So mezcal is my jam too, and we can't make it. Yeah. We just can't make it here. No.
You gotta be down there.
Yep.
Anyways, so Joel brought us these shots, and so when you decided to do 38 distilling.
Yep. State 38.
State 38. How did you meet up with Joel? How did that whole thing take shape?
Initially, I hired my sister's boyfriend, which was the worst idea.
Shout out, sister.
I was your friend back there.
No, not a great idea. Yeah, he played banjo all day, and so that was fun. Didn't make booze.
A guy you want to drink with,
right.
but not a guy you want to.
He kept telling me that it was good for the spirit, playing banjo. But that was bizarre. Hired one of my best friends next after that. Second worst idea that you can do. So that did not work out well either. And then Joel came in here on a tour, and it was actually just serendipitous. I just let my best friend go, which tainted our friendship a lot.
Rest in peace relationship.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly what it was, man. And he said, "Hey, I'm working at Stranahan's part time. I'm working on a few other distilleries part time. I know what I'm doing. I know the process." And I live maybe 10 minutes away from here, which he does. And so
that's pretty money.
I was like, yeah, come on in, man. And got him trained up. And he's been with us for over 2 years now. And he's just a phenomenal component of what we do here. He's not just smart on the distilling process and really nerdy about that, but he's just a good person, too. And he's a hard worker. And I feel like nowadays that's really hard to find staff that have all those
We resent
pieces.
that.
Yeah.
And luckily, you mentioned, hiring your best friend was a bad idea. Chris and I don't even like each other. We just put on this facade every fucking Tuesday to go talk to people. And that's
true. It's part of the game. It's the act.
Yeah. Kill yourself.
And it keeps things real. So another question I have for you, though, is when you were opening this distillery, how early were you able to have, whiskey ready? Because don't you have to let that age for So before you were like, I'm going to open up this place, were you already thinking about, I need to start making booze to stockpile?
Yeah, it's a great question. So most distilleries in order to jumpstart that process, they'll buy whiskey sourced from other places, right? So they'll buy pre-barreled whiskey from Indiana or Kentucky or Tennessee, and they'll bring it to their distillery and they'll just relabel it, rebottle it. We were extremely against that. That's not what we stand for here at State 38. So initially, the only products that we sold in the market were our either not barrel aged or lightly barrel aged spirits, which is the Blanco, the vodka, and the Reposado. The Reposado was only aged at that time for 3 months in oak barrels, so we were able to get that to the market fairly quick. The Blanco was unaged, the vodka is unaged, and actually the gin we were selling as well, which is also unaged. So we had product to release immediately into the market without any aging in barrels. But while we were releasing those products and manufacturing those products, we were also manufacturing and filling barrels of añejos, bourbons, scotch, the brown stuff. That's right, yeah. And we have to let that sit for several years. We've been in business now for 6 years. So we've had enough time now where we've got some barrels.
It's like your own recruits are coming in.
Yeah,
in terms of sports.
Did you guys just think that was a little fucked up though about how Like, so a distillery could open and they could be serving
somebody else's booze?
Their booze for the longest time.
Yeah.
And then after that runs out, you come back and their booze sucks. And then it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's actually really common. There's some big names out there, even Colorado, local names, and I'm not going to name those names, by the way, because I'm not going to go down that path. But some of the whiskeys that are really popular.
And we have a real wide reach in this city and state. You don't want.
I'm not burning those bridges, dude. Yeah.
It'll probably be on 9 News with Kyle Clark tomorrow.
There's some big brand Colorado whiskey distilleries that I guarantee you've consumed and are aware of their naming, and I can give you the names after this podcast, that are 100% sourced from Kentucky and Indiana.
Oh, really?
100%. Don't even do any distilling on their own. Yep. Big names. Yeah.
Is this kind of like the same issue as that's not necessarily a problem if it fucks. Like if it's good from Kentucky, then you run with that horse. Yeah. I'm not mad if you repurpose a product and label it as your own, even if you don't even change the ingredients, and they're aware of it.
Yeah,
if
that's
the
right.
other
it's
folks,
the awareness.
Yeah. If the other folks, I would assume or would hope. Why else would they be buying crates of barrels? It's not like they're just drinking it with their grandfather in the back. So I can't really knock them for that.
Yeah, agreed.
100%.
Actually, one of my favorite distilleries is someone who only buys sourced whiskey, and that's called High West Distilling out of Utah.
Oh, yeah.
So they're 100% sourced. So they actually don't manufacture any of their own
stuff. It's like $2 Chuck, just like filling it with whatever the fuck they got this month.
But they make so what their claim to fame is that they're good at picking out the good barrels that are made in Indiana or Kentucky, and taking those good barrels and blending them like a really good bartender, and blending them into phenomenal blended whiskeys. And that's why High West sold to Constellation Brands 2 years ago for $180 million, and they actually didn't make their own whiskey at all. They just blended.
What we're talking about.
They make some pretty decent blends, though.
Oh, it's beautiful blend. Boo Rye is great.
Really damn good.
They do a peat smoked style smoked whiskey, which is amazing.
Has fallen quite a bit too.
Yeah, I think once they got purchased by Constellation, which is a really big company, they were able to start buying higher quantities and get that quantities of scale. So, but yeah, that's a great story of a distillery that had no shame in sourcing from another location, blending it the right way, and then walked away with a $180 million check. So nothing bad to be said about that. Winning.
Yeah, they did that right.
So I guess you've been here for 6 years now.
Yep.
So before we dive into some more Colorado type stuff, what's like?
Do you live out here in Golden?
Yeah.
Let's learn a little bit more about you. Let our listeners know. We want to talk about the company, but we also want to get to know the guy behind the company.
Yeah.
So, what's your local grocery store?
Totally nothing exciting about me at all. I'm a King Soopers Kroger guy. It's my preference on stores there.
Rumor has it they have bad beer. Don't go there.
Well, now in Colorado, it's you can
we don't talk about that. We don't talk about
Yeah.
that. We also don't talk about that restaurant that serves fast casual burritos with a C that moved their fucking headquarters. We don't talk about those assholes.
Are you talking about Chubby's?
Yeah. That's well played.
Man, I love Chubby's. I used to. Live in Golden, Colorado. My wife and I actually have 4 kids. We just had twins.
Holy shit.
We just had twins 2 months ago.
Get out of here.
So we had surprise twins, no less.
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
Oh, yeah, so fun. So fun. So my wife called me and told me she was pregnant, and I was like, well, that's unexpected, right? I didn't know that was happening. And I was like, okay, three kids is fine. We can make this work some way, somehow. And then a month later, she called me, and she's bawling on the phone. And I was like, oh, God, something's wrong. Something's wrong with the baby. She's like, there's 2 heartbeats. I was like, fuck.
Oh, it's got 2 hearts. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, shit, no, it's twins.
Yeah. Is this... It's either a superhuman baby or I've got twins going on in there. That's a really good circulatory system.
In the South, we would say, bless your heart.
Yeah.
When was the last time you slept? 4 months ago?
Yeah, man. I'm drinking a lot of Blanco tequila shots. So, no, it's all good. All kids are a good thing, I think. And we're happy to have healthy children. But that does occupy get pretty much everything that goes on outside of the distillery. For sure.
All right. Well, then some of these next questions may be a little bit difficult for you to answer / precarious, but it's okay. I guess you don't have a preferred condom.
Yeah, I do. It says used on the package. Though. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I got a box of those under my bed. I call them my reserves.
Is used not a brand? You said?
The foreign. All right, so our next segment, we want to give a shout out to, again, our sponsors, the Fillmore Denver and Live Nation. Don't, I guess, forget to go follow them on Instagram and on Facebook at Fillmore Den. You get an opportunity to win free tickets, free shit, all sorts of other stuff, blah, blah, blah. It's a quality fucking venue, and
really
there's
is.
great they have concerts going almost every week celebrating their 20th anniversary. So go over there, check them out, and then don't forget to look at our Instagram. We'll give away tickets to their concerts as well. So holla at your boy. Let's get into some Stoned Appetit. Daniel, you're going to participate in this game as well because we want our listeners to know your take also. I know we've been picking Sean's brain a lot, but we're going to ask you questions, and Chris will be asking the other person questions.
Okay.
Chris, go ahead. Ask the first good question.
This afternoon.
Happy hour. What's your favorite happy?
Where's your happy hour jam? And it can be.
You can plug your own bar if you have a good happy. We don't give a shit, but he's going to have to be truthful. He can't say State 38 too.
Man, I'm trying to think the last time I went out to happy hour. There's a good bar here in Golden called Wrigley's, which is a Chicago style bar, and they do a fantastic happy hour, and they'll do like dollar tacos and stuff like that. So shout out to Wrigley's, and it's a small, divey, really fun place too. So
I like it. That's actually a great answer because we're big about HH specials. So I love a good dollar
tacos.
Dollar Yacos. Will holler at your boy. All right, Mr. Whiskey Accountant, what's your go-to happy hour?
Yeah, I'm going to have to say it's kind of cliche, I think, right now, but Uchi, Denver. I'm going to give a shout out to them if they want to toss me some stuff my way. But their happy hour is screaming good. $3 sakes. I mean, it's just, you can go there and get pretty.
So I asked this same question about the tequila earlier. Are you a sake shooter? Or are you one of those pretentious people that like drinks it casually?
Dude, I am a sake shooter. Polish it down, pull up the box, finish off the box, and just move on to the next one.
I mean, I think the worst of that is the purple haze people that add the Chambord to it.
That's
and it's purpley, and
you can't add flavor into sake.
That's
a very pretentious.
Wait, that's a thing?
Oh yeah, purple haze.
Purple haze.
I'm glad,
Exactly.
as
a
we
big
s-
thing.
I'm glad I don't know people that do that. We don't do that, do we?
No, I would say.
All right. So yeah, Uchi does have a fire deal. Shout out to them. If y'all want to throw some bones our way, we also will take them. We'll co-pilot this shit.
We'll all come in
We're
there.
cool with that.
Four-way that one, man.
All right, so we'll do last concert, or do you want to do?
Well, I mean,
We're just bipping and bopping
You
around.
You just had kids.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've managed to find a date night. Maybe.
Ooh, date night.
So where's the last best date night spot you went to around these parts?
Yeah, I actually went to the Buffalo Rose, also in Golden.
No, you don't have to laugh at that. You live in Golden.
Dude, I mean,
You've got a family.
have y'all driven the roads in Denver lately? It's kind of snowy the past month, so my local exploring has been happening, much more locally, I guess. But yeah, Buffalo Rose, downtown Golden. They actually had a great concert. That's what so we're combining two topics into one.
Oh, nice.
They did a Doors cover band, and the dude was like actually like ripped his shirt off and was like doing the dance on the stage, and like I feel like the spirit of Jim was in him. And I don't mean that in a weird way.
We're a little more civilized.
The irony reeks in that one.
Awesome. Was this before or
Post kids. Yeah, this is actually last week.
was this a night that led into?
No.
Yeah, there you go. The procreation night, I think, is what they call it. Sometimes you hear about it's like Super Bowl, or the World Series with the Cubs, whatever it is. So we didn't know if it was going to be a Buffalo Rose. Did you name the kid Buffalo Rose?
Buffalo Rose cover band.
That's right.
One of them was named Jim, and the other one was Rose.
Yeah, the wrong door apparently.
What? Yep.
Where's your date?
All right, deal.
Ooh, date night. I'd have to say Marin, man. That place makes you feel very special inside and feel very fancy, especially when you're eating that sweetbread sandwich or getting down on some champagne. Oysters, aphrodisiac,
That's not a bad way to get laid either. I can speak to Marin because I have been there. I haven't been to the Buffalo Rose, but it has been yielding bennies every year. So we'll see how you and
we'll see what's in my future.
Yeah, I figured you were going to say something like in the mountains. You just came down from there as well, so I was hoping that you were going to give us even a more further out one.
Yeah, I don't know. We usually don't